So is the timing that we have chosen
Thursdays
starting to podcast in?
See, that's where I was like, are we bringing this back around now that we are not just going to naturally blow up? We have to manufacture it a la whoever that band was you just played.
I'm tying it together.
All right.
And what I'm saying is, I think we fucked up, you guys. All of the rational research shows that we should have started doing this like 5 years ago. Maybe we'd have some chance. But like March 2013, oh, we're fucked. Do you know what's going on out there?
No.
Perfect.
Is this all hearkening back to the last episode when you had a very vicious undercurrent of vengeance against people?
Do you think I did?
No, I'm just being a smart ass.
The hating on haters?
Wait, do you think that I did? For real?
No, but you did bust out the Dalai Lama quote at least 7 times.
What Dalai Lama quote?
That was his fortune cookie.
The one that you got in the fortune cookie.
Ah, yes. Yes, Shane, it's interesting.
'Tis indeed a Dalai Lama quote.
First they ignore you, then they attack you.
Yeah.
And then you win.
Well, here's the thing. Like you said, it's 10% of people on a whole. Like, it's been around. Maybe we're just on the cusp of something great.
We're the Limp Biscuit of podcasts.
No, please don't say that. Which should at least give us a couple good years.
Yeah, that means...
And then some very bad years.
Right.
And then we can marry Christina Aguilera.
For a short stint, or are they still doing it?
Maybe they just were doing it.
Good enough for me.
Hey.
I'll take
Welcome
it.
back to the show, everyone.
And might I add, just got married to Christina Aguilera and Amanda Bynes.
Can we throw Nicki Minaj in there?
Yes,
Excellent.
please do.
She'll spiral downward
Please
soon.
do. So all of this stuff gets me wondering too, is the internet and the state of audio right now, what's available to people, podcasting, and just the way that you can get things to people, how long does radio really have? Can someone check on that?
30 days.
You might be right. You're
There's
probably
just so
close.
many options to like find something. Like,
Well, and the problem that you're running into is when MTV came out and they said, "Oh, this is going to ruin radio." People still, the only thing that was on demand was, HBO and 8 tracks. Like an 8-track was on demand. You didn't have the 10 years of getting everything when you want it and as you want to listen to it. You don't want to have to sit there and do the whole thing in one stretch. Radio doesn't allow that, Radio has many confines. You can do a podcast that's clean. Shane can't.
no.
But the rest of us might be able to.
Is this you giving me a pink slip?
Is this what's There's no podcast. This has all been an elaborate
Yeah, we are not
intervention.
broadcasting.
Scott has never been recording any of these.
No. The thing is, at that time as well, there was, the radio was in the car. That was the main thing. Radio lived through MTV was no issue because the radio was in your car and MTV is not.
MTV is not in your car.
But podcasts are. And so are satellite radio stations.
Mm-hmm.
So what good is radio for anybody?
public service announcements.
Okay, you're right. Tornadoes.
Yep.
Tsunamis.
Yep.
Whatevs.
All that.
Whatever you're.
The EAS.
Ads for
ABS.
coupons to the, Pizza Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the radio in your car.
Or just in general, people. Why today would anybody with what's available, and now with podcasts finally starting or really starting to snowball out of control? How many people and what they're doing? Like, why do you pay if you're a radio station to stay alive when you could just move online where people are listening anyway? Right now, okay, 11%.
Real good
But
question.
you know what?
I would use the radio to listen to like NPR, and then slowly moved into like podcasts on that, and then the news app on my phone.
And NPR
So now
podcasts, all their most popular shows.
Right.
So
And
how
now
many of you listen live?
To NPR?
Yeah.
I don't listen to live at all.
No.
No.
I mean, if I were in a car, I would. but I don't own a car.
It's
Good point.
I mean, like,
it
how
exists because
else
it's
would
free.
I tune in live?
And people who buy cars, it comes
Time to get a
with
car,
it.
Sarah.
Damn
Right,
it.
it's free.
It comes with it, and it's free.
So maybe it will exist simply for that. I mean, forever? Can it
You're
really
trying to
last?
say radio's dying?
I'm just trying to ask, like, when things like this are happening, something bigger. When Nirvana came out, they did something bigger than just change music. It changed a lot of the way that people dealt with popular culture.
I want to
Change my sexuality.
Shane became the woman he knew he could be.
Yeah.
I just want to change podcasts as people see them now today.
But podcasts, even though they have this in your mind, when you hear podcasts, you think of a couple of kids sitting in their basement being assholes, which is a lot of it.
Yep.
Right.
But now you're not looking at that anymore. We went through a list of names of people, and that's just the beginning.
Like very successful people. Who
Very
are just
successful.
doing that for fun.
Right. So they've left radio because it's impossible to get anything done there. I just heard a very good interview with Phil Hendry. He's a radio DJ, long time. He does a really funny show. He's good. But he's been fucked for years. Contract bullshit. You know what I mean? Did this wrong. Did that wrong. These markets. Who knows what. So now he's just going to start an internet broadcast. Because who cares?
Right.
I mean, a lot of people are going to do it just for the like love of being broadcasted and just enjoy like.
I mean, you're going to have to stay alive.
Well, yeah, like Norm Macdonald doesn't get paid anything to do what he does, and I mean, he just does it.
Right. Eventually, you can do it for a living.
Yeah.
I mean, if you sell ads and all that business.
You also have to keep in mind that they do have well, not all of them, but a lot of them have the option to actually watch the broadcast while it's going on.
Right.
So if people do miss the visual stimuli or whatever you want to call it, like a lot of times they can just turn into that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like the Artie Show and Howard and all that shit.
Yep. Yeah. Cho's show. Yeah. Not only can you listen
even
to
Cho's
it,
show,
but now you can watch it as well. It's amazing. I mean, and on the internet, if you're on the radio, you can't do you can do a kid show, but you can't do a live fuck show. You can do that podcast. I don't know if anyone does. If they don't, copyright. And might I add.
And another thing is too, like you listen to radio, like morning talk and all that shit, where they try way too obsessively hard to be funny, and then it's just uncomfortable for everyone. Like a lot of people aren't of that mindset. They can't like sit there and listen to the lowest common denominator. So I think that podcasts really improve, you know, like as far as like stimulating people who have just been bored for years. You know, like they might not necessarily want to listen to the entire episode. Nobody wants to hear anybody talk for 18 fucking hours straight. But once in a while, like, to feel like you're around like-minded people, it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and with podcasts, you have a lot more choice to what
exactly.
banter you have to listen to.
I mean, the genres and the subgenres of podcasts are, like, infinite. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're, you know, whatever shit you might be into, there's something out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
And something you'll like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, with podcasting, it's not like television. I mean, everybody can't just have the ability or the time, money to make a television show and put it out.
Right.
With
Like their
podcasts,
own channel or show.
right? And with the podcast, anybody can. So maybe in the future, it will work into some network, you know, of internet, probably just media as one. Like people are now working their websites into live video, audio. You know, the streams,
Right.
archives, blah, 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 blah. It's where you're going instead of television. I mean, that's the next step, you know, radio dies, then television dies.
Well, I think what's interesting, too, is, like, you can't, because with the internet as big as it is now and podcasts and everything like that, you're not pigeonholed into being on morning talk radio. So it just seems to me like if you stay the course, you know, like, finally there's another option for people. And the funny thing about like Adam Carolla and Joe Rogan, like nobody thought of them as, you know, they were big names before, but they weren't huge. Well, these podcasts have made them like household names, and that's all they do. You know, I'm not saying that's easily attainable. But, you know.
Sorry, we have a puppy that's greeting.
Did she just shit on the floor?
There's a dog loose in the basement of the log cabin, and it's greeting somebody who just got here. Actually, so, damn it, we're not.
Thanks, Millie.
Millie got a haircut. She looks cute.
All right, we'll take a break now. I guess it's time. We need to go deal
It's
with
time.
something that's going on out in the hallway.
The alley isn't so funny, is it?
We'll be right back with you.
Hey, fellas. Yeah. I want to know. What? Tell me. Out